What's up, affordable Armory people? Today we've got a comparison video, 3 guns that you have seen, maybe you haven't seen on the channel, but we're gonna compare them. So today we've got the Walther Creed. It's a 9mm hammer fired gun. There we go, it is clear. We've got the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. Also a 9mm, this is a striker fired gun. And we've got the Stoeger STR-9. Now, you may be asking yourself, why am I comparing these 3 guns? Well, let's get into that. Okay, so here we are over at the workbench. We've got the 3 guns that I just mentioned, the Stoeger STR, the Smith & Wesson SD, and the Walther Creed. So let's talk about it. Why am I comparing these 3 guns? Well, these are 3 full-sized 9mm pistols that I would put squarely in the affordable range. I've done a review of this gun here. I've done a review of this gun here. And then I have some videos of me shooting this gun. I have not done a full review of this gun. If you'd like to see me do a full review of this gun, let me know and I will do one. So, first up, as always, price and affordability. These guns are all, as I said, affordable. This gun right here is going for about $299 is what I've been seeing it for. This gun is usually about $299. I've seen it as much as $350. I've seen it as low as $250. And this gun right here, I've recently seen for as low as $250. Typically, I mean, MSRP is $399, but I've never seen it actually go for that high. When I bought it, I got it shortly after it came out, so I paid a little over $300 for it. I think it was closer to $350. But I've been seeing these here very, very recently for about $250. So I would put all 3 of these guns squarely in the affordable category. Check your local dealers. You can find these for a good deal. If I had to pick a winner for price and affordability, we'll go with the SD. Why? Because it's always on sale. It seems to be. I don't know. It's more common. It's easier to find. This one you don't see as often. This one you definitely don't see very often because it's brand new. Just came out. So anyway, winner. It's really a tie, but winner, Smith & Wesson. All right, moving on to capacity. So the Stoeger has this here magazine. You can see 15 round capacity. All right, not bad. You got the Walther Creed, and there's your witness holes on the side there. You can see that side says 15, but this side says 16. So you get one more in the Walther Creed. And then the Smith & Wesson, 15. Nope, 16. There you go. So it's a tie between the Smith & Wesson and the Walther Creed. Really, they're all basically the same. They're all 3 full-size pistols, so roughly the same. One round is not a whole lot of difference, but technically, the Smith & Wesson and the Walther Creed win for capacity. Moving on, accuracy. I will roll the footage now. All right, so we're here at the range. We're going to put 20 rounds on the target with each of the 3 guns. We'll start with the Smith & Wesson. And that's do the Walther, and then I'll do the Stoeger. All right, here goes. This one has a Okay, so looking at the three targets, I can say the Walther Creed is the clear winner here. It has the best group. Most of the shots landed right on center. I had one flyer up high, and I think that was my first shot, and then I corrected, and then they were pretty much all in the center. So Walther Creed is the winner in accuracy. The Stoeger and the Smith & Wesson, kind of a tie. If I had to pick one, I would say probably the Smith & Wesson, just from looking at it. It's pretty close, but I'd say the trigger felt a little bit better on the Smith & Wesson. You could work on the trigger press, learn it a little bit better, and be able to shoot it a little bit better and get there to improve it. I mean, low and to the left for both of those two guns, that's pretty typical of a right-handed shooter. So that's on me, not necessarily the gun, but just judging by how I shot all three guns, the Walther Creed is clearly the winner. There you go. Okay, so there you have it. The clear winner on accuracy was the Walther Creed. I will say that the Creed has a little bit more felt recoil. It's kind of chunky, not chunky like a high point, but well, I mean, just look at it and how high it sits in your hand. You definitely feel that. It feels blocky when you shoot it. Not quite like a high point. It's not that bad, but it is big. It is, I don't know. They're all 9mm full-size handguns, so I'm not crying about the recoil, but it is noticeable in the Walther Creed, but it also shot the most accurate groups. The Stoeger, the trigger on it is, if I had to describe it, I would say it's stiff. In comparison, I mean, this one, the Creed being a double action precock, like you have this mild take up here. That's very easy to press and then click. I mean, it goes like that. It's super easy. The Smith & Wesson, if this still had the factory trigger in it, would probably be pretty bad, but I've put this Apex trigger in here and it's nice and smooth. It's a little stiffer than the Walther Creed, but it is smooth, and then there's your click. So if you go to the Stoeger here, it is like, holy crap, that it's not really heavy. It's just, I don't know, it feels like if a bearing didn't have grease on it or something, it would, it'd be, you could still move it, but it wouldn't move as freely as you want it to. That's what it feels like. So, reliability. All right. Reliability, I'm going to go with the Smith & Wesson again. Why? Because they've been making this gun for a lot longer than either of these two guns. Smith & Wesson has a reputation for making quality firearms. Maybe that's opinionated, but I mean, they're still around. They're still in business. They've been doing it for years. So has Walther, and so has Stoeger, but Stoeger hasn't really made pistols before this. And Walther, this is their first budget line pistol. So I don't know. I haven't really had reliability issues with the Walther. I've had it for a couple years now, and it is, I mean, it's a great gun. The only issue I've ever had with it was I let someone else shoot it, and they put steel ammo in it without telling me. I was a little upset, but it failed to eject the steel cartridge that he put in there. The Stoeger, if you go back and watch my other videos, you'll see the problems that I've had with that. And the Smith & Wesson has also had some reliability issues, some of them induced by me, but I don't know. I guess if I had to pick a winner for reliability, it would technically be the Creed. So let me backtrack on that. I initially declared the Smith & Wesson the winner. I'm gonna scratch that. We're gonna go with the Creed. The Creed is the winner for reliability. This one, again, if you go watch my other videos, you'll see that the slide sometimes fails to lock open. That may be magazine issues, but it did it in the store when I first bought the gun with both magazines that came with the gun. And then we tried it with another Smith & Wesson SD magazine that they had in the store, and it did lock open. So I don't know, maybe it's a magazine issue. I don't know. It doesn't happen every single time, but it has had some issues with failing to lock open. Other than that, not really anything major. So this would be 1, this would be 2, and this would be 3. Moving on. Ergonomics and feel. Well, we're kind of going to go reverse on that one. Maybe not. The Walther Creed, man, literally everyone I hand this to, they're like, oh, wow, that feels amazing. It's got these slight finger grooves in here, very subtle, and this texturing is aggressive but not overbearing. It's actually, kind of slippery, really. It's not, like you feel it in your hand, so you know that it's there, but it's not like going to scratch your palms or anything. This is very minimal. I mean, it's textured. It's got a decent texturing to it, kind of similar to what's on my Taurus G2C, to be honest, although it's not quite as sandpapery as that. So I mean, this is good checkering, I guess. It's fairly rough. This is semi-rough, but not. I would almost like it to be a little bit more textured. And there's no texturing where your thumb is. I do like these spots for your fingers, so your thumb can rest on that side, your trigger finger can rest on that side. That's kind of nice. The slide serrations, fairly easy. Slide serrations on here, not quite as deep as I would like them, because I do like to rack like that, grab over the top. And then this one, I think, is probably the winner in ergonomics. I mean, you got really nice, almost FN style texturing on the back strap here. Some kind of sandpapery texturing here. And then you got the finger grooves right here with the undercut on the trigger guard. You got these nice, deep, heavy slide serrations. The slide stop is very easy to actuate. Elongated and textured magazine release. I'm going to go with Stoeger as the winner on this one, believe it or not. Even over the Walther Creed. I mean, I've let all my friends shoot these guns. Most of them would have gone 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to say for ergonomics, 1, 2, 3. Moving on, trigger press and trigger weight. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. I'm not going to get out the gauge and actually measure it, but this one has definitely the best feel in the trigger. This one with the Apex upgrade that I put in it is number 2, and the Stoeger, as I already talked about, is a very stiff trigger, so that's easily number 3. All 3 of these guns, again, they're full-size duty style pistols, so that's what their purpose would be. You could buy them and take them to the range and just have a good time shooting them with your friends, plinking with them. They're not really target pistols per se. I guess, I mean, this one could be because of the fiber optic sights. And those are pretty good. I've been able to shoot this at like 20, 25 yards and hit the target. But these two, the Stoeger and the Walther, they just have your standard 3-dot white sights. So, I mean, basic purpose for all 3 of these guns is going to be home defense, most likely, and or a range fun gun. You could conceal carry one of these guns, but that's not ideal. Most people aren't going to choose a gun of this size for concealed carry. I have concealed carried a full-size pistol before, but it's not the norm. you're gonna want a smaller gun for that, most likely. Moving on. Overall rating. Which one of these three guns would I buy right now if I was going to buy a new pistol? Well, if you can find them, I'm going to go with the Walther Creed. Why? Because price-wise, like I said, I've been seeing this go for about $250 recently. That's a really good deal. It comes with 2 magazines, whereas this one only comes with 1, unless you get the more expensive version, which comes with 2, I think. But I haven't seen that one available. It won the reliability category. It came in second, but kind of also tied for first in the ergonomics category. It won the accuracy category. Just overall, if I had to pick one, I would say 1, 2, 3. So the Stoeger, I really want to like this gun. I really do. I mean, it feels good in the hand. It's an okay shooter, but just I don't know. I can't do it. This one I'm going to go with, because you can find accessories for it. I mean, I found magazines at Academy, at my local gun shop, online, whatever. And because you can get things like the Apex trigger for it, you can get different sights for it. I'm going to go with, this is number 2, and the Stoeger is number 3. All right, there you have it, guys. Winner, Walther Creed. I really like this gun. My friends all like this gun. Every time I bring it to the range, it brings a smile to their face shooting this gun. So there you go, winner, Walther Creed. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Follow us over on Instagram. That's where we are most of the time. You'll see all of our behind the scenes stuff, when we're going to the range, what we've been up to lately, when we get new guns, that kind of stuff. And we'll also do things like link to the blog, link to our latest video here on YouTube, etc., etc. So if you want to see what we've been up to, follow us over on Instagram at Affordable Armory. All right, thanks for watching, guys.